there's just kind of like an X factor when you step into these roles or these missions that are more aligned with who you are and the purpose that you're seeking in your life. So yeah.
Welcome to the On the Path podcast, a conversation on navigating life. Join Chris Coker and Colin Chris as they have honest conversations with fellow travelers on the path. In each episode, they explore the physical, mental, and spiritual health aspects of the whole self, striving for personal accountability and a strong community. Gain insights, learn from our mistakes, and hear from guests who have mastered these areas. Step on the path, embracing every challenge and success along the way. See you on the path.
Hello, Colin.
Hello,
it's good to see you,
Chris. Yeah, what's the mysterious look today? Is it just the vibe, or is it a little cold in the north upper
it
northeast
is
north?
Yeah, upstate New York. It is definitely cold. For anybody that watches our YouTube videos, I will tell you this is you've now seen it. I think one other time, a new view, because my desk usually sits to my left, but that's my window and it's Buffalo winter. So now I am standing directly in front of my fireplace so that I can prepare it. And today's a little drafty. So
yeah, winter is coming.
Yeah, that. Let's see if we can get Jon Snow on the show. I think he'd be great. He had a good head on his shoulders, which is more than a lot of people on that show can say.
Oh wow, that was a Game of Thrones. Like that was a reference on top of a reference, but in the north. But
so all right, Colin, let's. Yeah. We obviously are here to debrief the Marci episode, which I thought was fantastic. She's a wonderful human being. Loved our conversation, so I'm excited to dive into that. But of course, we're going to open it up just to kind of get the mental juices flowing. I actually gave you a choice to pick which question. You didn't know which one was which, but I have a question for you. Let's say next week, you and I, in fact, next week is Veterans Day on Tuesday. So let's say just the back half of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's say you and I switch jobs. Which one of us would do a worse job at the other person's role, and why? So I would do your role in basically your human resources space. I'm currently in commercial execution and training. We switch jobs entirely. Who would do a worse job and why?
I think you would do a worse job. And why is I think I could flow, right? Like, and just like, yeah, okay. And like, okay, like, let me get back to you on that. And just, I wouldn't actually try to do it because I don't know how to do your job. But I think mine, you'd actually try and pull some things through. And I could see that actually backfiring. So me coming in and just flowing and but actually not trying to get any work done may make it successful and just leave a mountain of work for when you came back. Like, yeah, I got all these things. All the deliverables are tomorrow. Enjoy. But I kept the relationships alive,
That's probably true. That's probably true. Yeah. And you're probably not wrong. And I will say, I think a year ago, you would have just defaulted to, I would have done a better job. So it's nice to see your growth, young king. Well done.
My confidence. Oh, he got a little cocky is yeah. Ego's the enemy. Don't forget. But
that's right.
Yeah, I think I could crush it with my epic BS skills. So.
All right. That's fair.
You do more than that.
I know less. That was for everybody out there. Colin basically just said he would play Gray Man for 3 days and not do anything.
I would take the meetings, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll follow up on that. Let me get back to you."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd have to do a lot more curls. For those you can't see in his jacket, Chris is known for his biceps, so I just do arm day for like a week straight too.
You're implying that known is by a lot of people. I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, okay. My bad. Anyways, this isn't about us. This is about Marci. I really enjoyed the episode. Marci's been a longtime friend. When I started at work, she was one of the first few people I met within a year and a half. And I was going into a dark period of of time in my life, and I think she's good with the vibes. I think she could tell. She's like, come over here, little guy. Like, I'm gonna be your friend. and she's been there, kept me out of trouble. She's been there for me when I would say I'm doing great, and she's like, that's a lie. And just a great friend, good human, and it's really exciting to see her take this leap into this next chapter of her life. When you think about your experiences with her, not as many in the past, but from then to now. What's that like? What is it? Can you tell a difference?
Yeah, I think you definitely can. I think there's something to be said, and I know we're going to get into one of the topics you mentioned before we hit record was like taking a chance on yourself, basically. I feel like there is like a physiological change that happens in a person when they think and believe that they have the ability to do the thing that they're setting out to do. And that's what I saw in Marci throughout our conversation. That's what I've seen in her since she has gone off to do her own thing. She believes in what she's doing, and she believes in her ability to get it done, which I think is good. And you can see that. I think she was thriving in her corporate career as well, but there's just kind of like an X factor when you step into these roles or these missions that are more aligned with who you are and the purpose that you're seeking in your life. So yeah, kudos to her. Marci, you're the bomb. Thank you for joining us on the show. And really, really grateful for the wisdom that you shared with everybody.
And you mentioned it too, taking the risk. We hear so much like about courage. I love Ryan Holiday's book. I think it's Courage is
Calling.
Is that what it is? Courage is calling. Thank you. It's catchier. That was a better title. I would have named it that too. And The Obstacle is the Way is his other book. That's the one.
That's right.
But Courage is Calling. And courage doesn't mean there's not fear. It's what you do in spite of that fear. And she talked through it. I mean, it's scary. I mean, she didn't have to leave, but she made that choice, and it was clearly not the easy one, but it was the one that, she had gone through enough, had all those experiences, and was like, I need to do this, and I need to do it for me. And I truly believe in what I'm stepping into. I don't know how it's going to work out. Clearly I'm leaving a steady job, steady paycheck, health insurance, all the things for life, but I believe in me, and I believe in what I want to do and the impact it can have. But taking risk, talk about scary.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think yes to everything you just said, and her ability to just believe in herself that she's able to do it. But I would even say, Colin, it's also just, she knows that it's the right thing to do for her, right? Like she has this self-awareness to go like, yeah, I could keep growing my corporate career. And yes, this, the thing that I'm going to build on my own, like it could succeed, it could fail along the way, but I am okay with either outcome because I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. And I think that's for me, that was a very critical takeaway. Like when you reach a point where you're looking at a situation or you're looking at a direction on the path that you're going and you go, okay, success, failure, I'm good with either outcome. That's what, like, to me, that is a very like practical way of assessing whether or not you're doing the right thing. And I think that's where Marci's at, regardless of the direction that her next step takes. I think she absolutely is okay with where it's taking her because she knows that she's doing the best thing for herself. And I think doing that, she's just going to show up even stronger for all of her clients and all of the people in her circle moving forward.
And I'd love to hear from you on top of that. When you talk about fear, you talk about courage, you talk about taking risks. Like, do you have any advice? Because I have to say, like, you're one of the most confident people I know, but that doesn't mean you don't feel fear. You don't, sometimes question, should I take this risk? But, do you have any advice for anyone listening when it comes to taking a risk, overcoming fear, courage?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, step one is definitely just acknowledging the fear. I think you hit the nail on the head, Colin, that it's okay to be afraid. Courage is overcoming that fear and pushing through it anyways, right? For those of you that don't love classic Disney movies, watch The Lion King and listen to the advice that Mufasa gives his son Simba, where Simba basically says, like, you are the king. You always look courageous. You never look like you're afraid. He says the things, right? And then Mufasa tells him, like, that just isn't true. Everybody feels fear. It's how you face it that is a testament to your character and who you can be. So that I just wanted to kind of call that out, Colin, and acknowledge what you said, because I think it's the most important ingredient is just accept fear. It's an emotion like the rest of them, and we all have it. The other piece for me is just get comfortable being uncomfortable. That is a very good way of helping you overcome fear, overcome change, becoming more resilient. It's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I also think that is a very easy thing to engineer in your life. Obviously, choosing to leave a corporate career where you have some trajectory, that's scary, and you don't want to do that all that often, right? That's a big, massive life decision. But there's also a little thing like, Colin, you're a big fan of cold exposure and cold plunges. That is incredibly uncomfortable. The more you do it, the less uncomfortable it becomes, not because the task has gotten easier, but because your mind has steeled itself to what it has to go through. It's probably the biggest reason that I choose to work out. It's just that constant reminder that I should seek out opportunities to put myself in a little bit of pain, put my body and my mind under a little bit of stress. And doing those things will make me uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable is going to help me grow. That's where all the growth happens, in that uncomfortable space.
Yeah, I wonder if growth is possible without some sort of discomfort, whether it's mental, physical, probably even spiritual. It doesn't seem like they don't come hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive.
You probably had growing pains as a kid.
Oh,
right.
Or your teeth, you have to lose all your teeth and get new ones.
Yeah.
I still believe in the tooth fairy. Don't take that from me. But
looks a lot like
sometimes
Dwayne
the tooth fairy was super cheap. I don't know the value of teeth, or a tooth, but like sometimes it's quarters too, right? Like, come on, tooth fairy. But
she clearly had to make payroll, because sometimes it was a quarter, sometimes it was $1, and I wasn't sure.
I'm like, is this one not worth as much as the other one? What's the value on the black market right now for my baby teeth? But no, keeping it back to Marci. It's inspiring to see her take that risk. I mean, we talk about it on the show. We talk about, why we're doing this, and she has done it all the way, and gone, all the way. And it is something that it's just been inspiring to see. But then I think about the Marci vibes now. I mean, I've known her long enough. I've seen her, highs, lows. I mean, that's life. We go through, times where it seems like a struggle. We go through times where we feel great about our lives, but she took that risk. But it's like a whole new level of Marci. I'm feeling this energy. And where do you think that comes from? I have an opinion. I know we talked a little bit about it, but like, why do you feel like she just seems locked in? The energy is so positive. Like, what is driving that?
Well, I'll give you two answers. One is kind of like what we were talking about before. I think she knows, like, down to the core of her being, that she's doing the right thing for herself and for the people around her and for the clients she has now and the ones that are to come. So I think that's a super exciting thing for somebody to go through, when you are just very abundantly confident that you are making the choice that you should be making, and that you are aligning your day-to-day activities with your purpose. I think that's a huge one. The other piece I'll kind of build on to the, fear and being able to overcome that fear and getting uncomfortable. Once you're on the other side of that, like, uncomfortable space, there's like a dopamine hit. It's like, you'll hear from a runner that'll say, like, they get a runner's high, right? They'll go run for a few miles and it hurts and it sucks and it's terrible, until like mile 4 hits, and you know that mile 5 is the finish line, and mile 4 feels super good, and you're like, you get a runner's high. I think it's kind of sort of like that, where like she's gone through now the most difficult pieces. She has jumped ship. She's burned the boats, right? There's no going back at this point. She's really invested in the direction that she's going. Now that she's on the other side of that, she's starting to see the fruits of her labor, and that's got to be an incredibly exciting and gratifying feeling. So I think it's really those two things. But you said you have an opinion. I'm very curious to see where yours overlaps with mine, and if it's different.
No, it is in addition to yours, which is I think living into her purpose. She's completely aligned with her purpose. And my thought is that, or my belief is that now, because of that, everything's in sync. Her subconscious knows, her heart and her mind knows. They know we're doing exactly what we're supposed to do. So she's getting that just energy from everything's in sync. It's aligned with her purpose. She's living into her purpose, and it just makes even sometimes the most difficult things easy, because it's all for the right reasons. It's not for those quarterly earnings. It's not for it's not for the shareholders. It's literally for her. She's doing it for her and the mission she believes in, and the impact she can have and does have on individuals that work with her. So I think it's what you said, and then also living into one's purpose.
Yeah.
And if you listen to us, if you're on the path, you got your whole self philosophy. But what is the path? Where are you going? Living into your purpose.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's doing it. And I think that's just the manifestation of that coming to life.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her. And again, it's inspirational, because talk about leaving a sure thing, a great thing, and then taking that leap and betting on yourself. And hey, is it paying off? A little bit, but if you keep working at it, something's going to happen. And I think she'll continue to grow. She'll continue to have her impact, and I believe in her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same. And this is I'm going to take a left-hand turn here, Colin, but it's just my stream of consciousness is flowing, and I might as well share it with the world here. I really love the accidental, I think it was accidental, because we never really talked about it until recently, but this accidental step towards the people that we bring on are people that are in our circle already, right? We talk about community a lot, and I just, as you're talking about Marci, our gratitude for Marci and the things that she's doing, we're proud of her, all that. I agree, and I think it's really cool to have these conversations with people that are in our network today that had been prior, and kind of, these people that we would consider friends. So just some food for thought for you and I as we keep growing the show and keep talking to people, conversations we have with people like Marci, people like YL, Keith Palmer. We've had some really good conversations, Ryan, right? Like so many good conversations with people that are friends. And I think doing that more and more, it's just very, very uplifting, I think, for me. I'm sure you feel the same. So more to come for sure. And very, very grateful for Marci and the episode that she shared. And Seshen, I think, will be a very successful coaching company in years to come.
Completely agree. And you mentioned Ryan McCool, our number one fan. Go Birds. So if you're listening, don't forget to stay in touch. But yeah,
if you're listening, Ryan, text us and let us know that you heard that shout out for the birds.
Stop being a stranger, and happy birthday. But he knows what I mean. I think we should leave it there. Again, proud of Marci. She's been a great friend, but it's exciting to see somebody make a career change, make a life change, and one that you are just actually truly excited for them, and they made the right decision, but you're seeing and feeling it come to life. So
agreed, very much so. Well done, Colin. Well done. That was a good debrief. Let's leave it on one last takeaway. What's on your mind after what's it been, looking at the recording here, like 15, 16-minute conversation or so? What's the one takeaway that's in your mind right now that you'll think about going into the weekend?
Don't be afraid to bet on yourself.
Don't be afraid to bet on yourself. All right, that's it. That's the closeout. With that, Colin, we'll see you on the path.
I will see you on the path, Mr. Coker.